Yeah, that's better. You can get it. Marvelous.
Yo, what's good? Welcome back to the channel, y'all. And look, we have breaking news. We have breaking news for the streets of all ages. Batsu has now blessed the sim with the OP11 cards, gang. You guys see it on the screen right now. 1.28a is now live. Here is the download for the sim. If you guys do want to play OP11, all you got to do, if you already have the sim, just click the sim. It's going to load up automatically. If you don't have the sim, I have a guide on the channel on how to get the sim and also alt arts. But look, we said enough. Let's go ahead and get straight into the deck list, gang. Let's get it. So welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. So you guys are probably wondering, where is the meta report for the week 1? That will be coming later on this week, maybe like a Tuesday or Wednesday. But nonetheless, we have some deck lists from day 1. They're all over the internet. One Piece Top Deck even added them to their site. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into it. As you guys can see, the first deck you guys have on the screen is a Bello Betty. Bello Betty is coming up out of nowhere. You know what's crazy is that in my last tier list, I told you the brand new UP or Gasoline Luffy gets spun by Bello Betty, and this is the first deck we have shown on the screen right now is Bello Betty. I'm telling you, a motherfucker really know what he's talking about. Fact, not opinion. So we're just gonna go over every single card like what you guys see. If it's not OP over 11, we will not be talking about it, just because, I mean, you guys can spend your own time really just playing or reading these cards. If it's not OP 11, none of these cards are OP 11. You can literally play this once EBO2 fully comes out with this Sabo right here. But other than that, this is an EBO2 deck. I told you guys Bello Betty will be spinning the block once UP Luffy comes into play, and that's exactly what's happening. As you guys can see, we have a lot of GP Luffy and UP Luffy. If you guys didn't know, we didn't do the meta report yet, but those two decks are literally spinning. The main reason why is because this is the best deck in the format. But like I said in the tier list, if this is the best deck in the format, any leader that has a 6,000 power is going to probably be the second or third best deck, because it contends with this head on. You get what I'm saying? So nonetheless, let's just go over Monkey D. Luffy. Like I said, if it's nothing from OP 11, we will not be going over any of these cards. And as you guys can see, this is strictly a EBO2 deck. I haven't seen, this is a brand new card right here. It's called Gum Gum Elephant Gatling. You may rest one of your Dawn cards, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost 5 or less. So really good resting material type of cards, being able to get a 5 rested. That's pretty shy in my personal opinion. And then it is also a counter. Up to one of your leader gains a plus 3,000 power. So not only do you have the Gum Gum Giant, but you also do have this card. He is just teching in one, so this really does look like a flex spot here with this OP11 card, but it worked for him. He ended up getting the win very first day. But other than that, I really don't see any other cards. Yeah, all these other cards are not even, none of these other cards are even fucking OP11 cards. This is the only brand new card from this deck. This deck has been solved. You could really even play this deck without this and just use something else. But other than that, shiesty ass deck. He won day 1 with GP Luffy, and this is the best deck in the format, like I said in my tier list. If you guys haven't seen that tier list, go ahead and click that card at the top, gang. I'm telling you, it's probably one of the most accurate type of lists that you'll see in the streets, fact, not opinion. So the next deck we have is the new kid on the block, Gasoline Luffy, UP Luffy. A lot of people were bringing this deck to top tables and just to the tournament. If you guys don't know anything about the Japanese meta, they really aren't sheeps like the West. They actually like trying and playing things new. So I'm not sure if this is just hype, because this same exact type of thing happened when OP10 came out. When OP10 first came out, Usopp was like the first or second best deck, and then, you know, after a month or two, Usopp literally nosedived off a cliff. I mean, he was nowhere to be found. I mean, he went to go get some milk and never came back. Let's go ahead and get straight into a Monkey D. Luffy, blue, purple, You may activate this effect at the start of your turn. If you have 8 or more Dawn cards on the field, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Straw Hat Crew type card and add it to your hand, then place the remaining cards at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. Pretty much for the first 2 to 3 turns, you pretty much have a dead leader, but once this leader effect really starts going, you literally can draw 2 cards every time it's your draw phase. Very nice. Like I said, we're going to be reading nothing but OP11 cards. This card is the main staple and glue of the deck. I made a post out saying, hey, look, if you guys did not pick this up, this is a main used card in this deck, and also UY Nami, Blue Y Nami as well. So, you know, if you guys didn't pick this up, what I told you, it's now at $30. This did get bought out. So, if, you know, you guys have to pay attention to my post, bro. When I say something out there, go ahead and hop on it, because it's really for y'all. I don't need any of these cards. So when I make a post out telling you, hey, this is going up, get this now, it's really just for y'all. Fact, not opinion. So the first new card we have right here is the Nami. It's a blocker, 5 drop, 6,000 power. So it's a 5 drop, 6,000 power blocker. On play, if your leader is multicolored, draw 3 cards and place 2 cards from your hand at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. So this really ties in really well with the leader effect. Very nice. You have this Monkey D. Luffy from OP11. It's also a rush. When attacking, you may trash 1 card from your hand, return up to 1 character with a cost of 4 or less to the owner's hand, then give up to 1 rested Dawn card to your leader or character. So not only does this bounce a 4 cost or less, more likely this is going to get rid of like a blocker on the board, but it also has rush, and it also gives you an extra Dawn as well. So that means you can get that extra Dawn when you summon this and attack at 7 and then attack at 8. Tons of pressure. Very, very shy, is my personal opinion. We have the Nami right here. So let's just keep on going. I don't really see anything. They are actually going out with the Zoro Joro. I've been seeing a couple people in RP Luffy cut this, but in this deck they're actually keeping it. So very shy, is my personal opinion. Let's just keep on going. This is the staple and glue for this Sanji. For this Sanji, it's really the staple glue. Going to the Sanji, going to this. Or going to the Sanji, going to this Katakuri. Let's go ahead and read this Katakuri here. Blocker, end of your turn, set up to 2 of your Big Mom Pirate type characters with a cost 3 or more as active, then add up to 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. I'm not sure how well this card goes into this deck. Maybe it's just to cheat this out, maybe it's just a blocker at AK. Kind of reminds me of like a kid, but you know, the fact that, oh yeah, I guess it does go well with these two, huh? I mean, what other cards does he have in here besides Big Bomb Pirates? Is it just these two? Let me see. Yeah, let me see. It is just those two. So I guess you play this on turn 8, or not turn 8, I'm sorry, like turn 3 or turn 4, and then you do Sanji, or I don't know what the combos are, bro. I haven't even played this deck, but nonetheless, this is what they're using. You got the Usopp. Let's see if anything else from OP11. The only thing else from OP11 is this card right here. It's called Gear 2. You may rest 2 of your Dawn cards. If your leader is blue, add 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck and rest it. And it's also a counter. Up to 1 of your leader gains 3,000 power during this battle. So very, hey, this deck is looking real tough. I'm not sure if this deck is just all hype, or is this just a specific counter to go against GP Luffy. So GP Luffy is still the best deck, and the reason why this is able to counter GP Luffy is just off of that blanket 6,000 power on top of all these other combo pieces. Really late game, Sanji into this, Sanji into this, Sanji into this. Sanji literally carries this deck. This is the Gecko Morio 2025, and if you guys didn't pick it up, I advise you to pick it up because PRB doesn't come out for us until November. Next deck we got right here is another UP Luffy. We're just gonna scroll over the cards since we already read them. If I do see another new card such as this, no, this actually isn't new, this is from OP10. Okay, let's just keep on going. If I actually see another brand new card, I will read it, but it looks like all these cards are still relatively old besides the new ones I just read. So this is another UP Luffy deck. This deck is really taking over. I mean, when it comes to toppings or showings for decks, UP Luffy has the most representation, but when it comes to top tables, GP Luffy has the most numbers for top tables. So this is still the best deck, like I said in my tiers. Like I said, we probably know what the fuck we talk about the most on here. Like we said, we predicted this being the best deck and also Blackbeard being the best deck. We always spin in the block with our predictions because we actually know what the game state looks like. Fact, not opinion. Let's go over all these other cards. Everything else in this deck looks relatively old. Looks like this is an EBO2 deck when we actually just take a look at everything. And yeah, this is pretty much EBO2 deck. This is the reason why everybody in the East was crying for this deck to get banned week 1. I actually initially said this deck was trash when we first saw it, and then all of a sudden GP Luffy came over here, punched me in the fucking face, took my deck, and decided to be the best deck in the format. Actually insane. The next deck we got right here is UP Luffy. We're gonna go over every single one of the cards like we usually. This was actually going out before the pudding. The last couple lists we actually haven't been seeing the pudding. So when I was putting against a lot of the UP Luffy players, I'll be saying, "Oh, you didn't get pudding. You didn't get pudding. This deck doesn't play pudding." And so if you guys are saying, "Oh, well, you didn't get pudding when you play them, this is fake," no, motherfucker, they don't play pudding. We just looked at all these lists, first time seeing a pudding. Okay, so you know, every blue deck does not play pudding, especially a deck like this that focuses on ramping to get out the big bodies. He is actually opting out for the Sanji, the 1 Kira. So these looks like some flex bots right here. This is a brand new card. Tony Chopper. It's just a blue 2000 counter, 5 drop, 6k power, and he's running 3 of them. Okay, let's just keep on going. Okay, anything new? I don't think I've seen anything new. Everything else is pretty much the same. Yeah, everything's pretty much the same. The only thing that I've noticed that was different in this particular UP list was these 2 right here. This seems like there's like 2 or 3 flex bots in this deck, and also the Chopper. I'm not sure why he's opting out for this. Maybe just because it's an easy 2k and it's 6,000 power. I don't know. Let me know below why they're opting out to run something like that. But you know, another UP list up for grabs right there. There's another GP Luffy. Like I said in the tier list, this is the best deck in the format. Any deck that has a 6,000 power counters this the most. So let's just keep on going so you guys can see the cards, and we can also see if there's anything new. Just looking at the deck without me even scrolling over them, this is still an old deck. So if you guys did want this deck, this is you know, here's another version of that list if you could try it out for OP11. So let's get into some actual different deck stuff. Next different deck that actually got a buff and will continue to see a buff in the future is this red green smoker here. Main reason why I got it a buff is just because of this card right here. You see the peacock. Let's go ahead and read it. This is a Navy sword character, 1 drop, so it's a searcher on play. Look at the 5 cards from the top of your deck. Reveal up to 1 Navy type card other than peacock and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. And then it also has activate main. You may trash this character, give up to one of your characters a plus 1,000 power during this turn. So this actually works underneath Blackbeard as well, a searcher. And look, it would have been crazy if this is a 2k counter as well, but it's not. But nonetheless, this is a very great card. Base searcher, turn 1, play this, done, you know, Dunzo, you get what I'm saying, it's Jove. And let's just go ahead and keep on reading. This is a brand new card that's actually coming from OP11 X Drake. This is just a 2k counter with you know, 7,000 power, 6 drop. Not sure he's running 3 of these with no effect. Let me know below why they're running so many vanillas. Is it just because of the stat lines, or what is it? I just want to know some insight on these decks. I still don't know, you know, a lot of what these new cards can do. But besides that, let's just go over all these cards again. There's nothing really new besides these 2 right here from what I'm seeing. This is for an OP11 card as well. It's called Clay Web. He's actually just playing 1, so this does look like a flex spot. Let's go ahead and give it a read here real quick. Counter, give up to 1 of your leaders or characters plus 2,000 power during this turn. Then if your opponent has a character with a 6,000 power or more, give up to 1 of your leaders or characters with a plus 1,000 power during this turn. And the trigger is give up to 1 of your leaders or characters plus 1,000 power during this turn. So what I'm noticing with a lot of this set is really bringing up characters' powers, whether it will be you know, the UI Nami, or a lot of these cards, these events, or just even something like this. The searcher brings up power. I mean, that's what it seems like the whole gist of this set is really doing, trying to really, you know, balance out the decks like BY Luffy out here. That's what I feel like they're doing, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, let's just keep on going. There's nothing else that's new from OP11. He's actually only opting out for 1 carrot. That's actually crazy. I always think you run a couple of these, but maybe not in this build. This looks like a flex spot. This looks like a flex spot. And Honey Jones, everything else looks the same. Everything else is from EBO2 or OP10. So that is the R Green Smoker list. Go ahead and copy it down if you like. And the next deck we have right here is Blackbeard. So everybody's asking, is Blackbeard still good? I think Blackbeard is still probably the best deck if you are a shiesty ass pilot. I mean, every card and leader and character and all these things we're reading, A lot of them been saying, especially for the high-end characters, is on play. So if you're playing against UP, Luffy, a lot of those cards are using like the Sanji, the Big Mom, mainly those two cards. And the thing is about Blackbeard in this particular set, if you turn off Gasoline Luffy's all on play effects, they can't use the Sanji. So that's the reason why I feel like Blackbeard is still a top tier deck. I just honestly think people are just sick and tired of this deck. But nonetheless, let's go over here real quick. There's actually nothing even new from this deck from just looking at it. I don't see anything new so far. Everything still looks the same. This is actually brand new. I can't even say the name. I'm just calling Kari. 1-drop blocker, on play, trash 2 cards from your hands. This is an on play. I'm not sure, bro, because your on plays abilities don't activate. So it says trash on play. I'm not sure why he's running this, to be honest with you. If I had to keep it stacked, if you just use the whatever you guys used before this, or if there's a reason behind this particular card, let me know, because I have actually no clue why they're even running this card, to be honest with y'all, gang. Let me know. It's really strange seeing this and it turn your on play abilities don't activate. So I feel like there's some conflicting interest here, so just let me know for that. But that is the Blackbeard deck for OP11. The next deck we have is another UP Luffy. Like I said, everybody in the East is bringing this. Let's just go over here real quick. He's actually opting out for the 2 Monkey D Luffys. This also goes really well in Boa as well. So if you guys are Boa players, try to splash that in and tell me how that goes for you on the sim. Let's see if there's anything else from OP11. So far, it seems like everything is figured out. This is a brand new card from OP11. First time seeing it. Let's go ahead and give it a read. Main, it's a one cost Don, I'm sorry. So let's just go ahead and give it a read. It's a 1-drop main. Let's go ahead and read it. If your leader is multicolor, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 Straw Hat Crew type card other than Let's Crash This Wedding and put it into your hand. Then place the rest on the bottom of your deck. Activate this main. So this is pretty much just a search, even add a trigger. This is just a blanket search just to get to your higher end pieces. Probably mainly this card right here. Sanji's peel off for some draws. And besides that, you know, this deck it almost kind of looks like it's solved. You literally only like 3 or 4 flex spots at this point. I mean, this deck is really just cooking right now. And as you guys can see with me just going down how spicy a lot of this shit is. But the deck that everybody projected to be the best deck in the format is this blue yellow Nami. Okay, this is the fan favorite. Everybody saying this will be the best deck once it's figured out. I told everybody in our tier list this will be the best deck just because of the effects and just how this leader is, but I feel like it just needs to be cracked. This is like another version of Blackbeard where it's going to take a while for the East to really figure out. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and read this Nami card. Your turn, once per turn, you may activate this effect when a life card leaves any life area. Draw 1 card if you have 7 or less cards in your hand. So putting doesn't work. You always will have cards in your hand just because you're able to abuse a lot of cards such as the Hiyori, the Zeus, and even in this build, they're not even abusing the Flampy or anything. So you know, that first ability is always going to be active. And then on your opponent's turn, Don ×1 on opponent's attack once per turn, you may trash 1 card from your hand. This leader gains 2,000 power. So the main reason why that particular effect is pretty broken is just because if this thing's at a 7,000 power, it's less kind of that comes out of your hand and it requires more Dom for your opponent to put under to try to challenge you. And also it's a 7,000 power. If you guys played against BY Luffy, you guys know how annoying 7,000 or 9,000 power could be. So that's the reason why this card is so broken. This leader is so strong. I just think it needs to get figured out. So let's just go ahead and keep on reading any new cards that we haven't read already. We read this Nami, we read this Monkey D Luffy. He's playing the Teach. Yeah, we haven't read the Zeus. This is another shicey ass yellow card we haven't read yet. Let's go ahead and give it a read. 2,000 power, 2-drop on play. You may add 1 card from the top or bottom of your life cards to your hand. KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters, or they cost 5 or less. So this is probably one of the best yellow cards ever created. The fact that it removes a 5 cost on a 2-drop. This shit is shice, bro. Like, this shit is like, I feel like this is power creep. This card replaces Gedatsu in an L, gang. Most decks are gonna be running 3 to 4. I don't really, if you can run this card, you want to run at least 3 to 4, fact, that opinion. And then we also have the Kid, and then yeah, those are the only new cards. It seems like this particular version is going for a kind of like a semi life burn with this Captain Kid, and just, I don't know. I actually don't even know the variation of this deck, because you are still running, you know, some board removal with these three cards. The combos with bringing this and this out, the Sanji, the Katakuri, Sanji and Kid. So I'm not sure. This looks like a balanced type of list. I don't know if it's not aggro, it's not life burn. I feel like it's just balanced. You have a little bit of ways to play this deck. I'm not too sure what this particular version is, but nonetheless, it won day one, so we got to show it. Next deck we have to show is another UI Nami list. This particular list is actually running the 2 Pudding. So Pudding looks like it's falling out of favor, which is crazy to me. The last list didn't even have Pudding. A lot of these UP lists out here for Luffy for OP11 aren't running this either. So I don't know what's going on with Pudding, but a lot of East players are saying, fuck this bitch. She already a dot. We ain't trying to have none of it. So I'm actually surprised about that. But looking at everything else, this is a brand new card used in the Nami deck. Let's go ahead and give it a read. It's a 1-drop on play. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Place them at the top or bottom of your deck in any order. So this is a searcher. And then on your opponent's turn, you may trash this character. Give up to one of your leaders an extra 1,000 power during this turn. So this actually turns... This card is actually might be shice, bro. This card actually turns your leader into an 8K leader. That's crazy. Like, if you don't remove it, your leader's now an 8K leader, and you get a search, and it's a 1-drop. This card's going to be good. I feel like this card's going to definitely be spinning, bro. This card is really shice, in my personal opinion. No, besides that, let's just go ahead and keep on going. They're actually running the 7-drop Linlin. I told you guys, this deck is more likely going to be running the 7-drop Linlin. So if you guys did not pick up your starter deck ones, make sure you use my link in the description, or you know, on the bio of my page for the TCG affiliate link. It helped a brother out, bro. But make sure you pick these up sooner rather than later, because I honestly don't even know when these structured deck Linlins are even going to be reprinted. So whatever the price is, that shit could be like $30-40 overnight. So if you guys are looking to pick up this deck, I suggest you guys go out and go get this right now. Make sure you use that affiliate link. We got the Zeus. Besides that, everything else is pretty much the same. He's actually opting out for the 2 Hioris right here. No, not Hioris, Flampies. I'm sorry, there's actually no Hioris. That's what I meant to say. There's no Hioris. He's opting out for the Flampies instead. And yeah, this deck, I mean, I feel like this deck still needs to be cracked. They did well, they won, but I still feel like it still can get some polish off of the sword here. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's just give it a couple more weeks and it'll be solved. Trust me, trust me. Next deck we got right here is Lim. I'm actually surprised Lim did anything. Let's see if they're even using any brand new OP11 cards. Let's see. There's no OP11 cards. What card is this? This is a promo. I have never even seen this card before. This is a promo. Hey, tell me what this comes out of, bro. This must come out of like a new video game or something. But yeah, there's no new cards from OP11 in this deck. So once OP10 comes out in EBO2, you guys can definitely use this Lim deck. I'm surprised this thing even topped. It's really abusing the kids and also the Shanks. No Zoros. So, you know, if you guys are a Lim fan, go ahead and try it out. It looks like it's still doing well in OP11. So let's go ahead and get straight to our next deck. Our next deck is another UP Luffy. Like I said, we've been talking about this deck a lot. We're going to read this card. This is a brand new card. If you have 5 or more cards in your hand, this character cannot attack. Blocker. I'm not really understanding the point of this card. Maybe just because it has blocker. Yeah, blocker, I guess. Blocker, 7,000 power, 5-drop. That's actually pretty good in my personal opinion. Luffy. Everything else kind of looks the same. We kind of went over everything else already in this deck. This deck is almost looking like it's almost solved. A lot of these ratios look really the same. I mean, it just seems like it comes down to flex spots. Like this right here could be a pudding, and these two could be changed out for something as well, or your ratio right here could be a little bit different when it comes to 2 to 4. So it seems like a majority of the staples, like the Sanji, the Linlins, the Katakuris, the Usopps, and the Sanjis and the Banclays are all staples. So if you guys do not have any of those pre-existing cards, these things are going to shoot up. So, you know, but UP Luffy, Ghastly Luffy definitely spinning the block. Can't tell me it's not. Bonnie is, I have some people in my Discord. My bad. I fucking hit my fucking mouse. I have some people in my Discord saying Bonnie aged like fine. Why? Because it literally gets no support, but somehow, some way, this hoe is always finding her name on the fucking screen for One Piece top decks. I don't know what it is. I'm telling you, the leader ability as a whole is shice. The fact that this top day 1, very impressive. Let's go ahead and look and see if there's any new cards for OP11. There's no card so far. No cards so far. Yeah, there's nothing from OP11. I think you could possibly use this in OP10 with the Tashigis right here, the Shigis and Smokers. This is an OP10 list, and he's actually going hyper aggressive with the Zoro. That was actually really shice right there. So I've been liking, look, if you play Bonnie, I'm really liking the shicey move with the 4 Zoro, getting rid of the Basil Hawkins and the Doflamingo, just playing aggro, 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 and getting the fuck out of here, okay? We ain't got all time to sit here and build forts and shit. We got things to do, all right? We definitely got things to do. So with that said, let's go ahead and get straight into our next deck. Our next deck is BY Luffy. And surprisingly enough, BY Luffy actually did top, but it was a 3v3 tournament, so we don't really take 3v3 serious. Just because you could literally just do bad the whole entire time and your teammates literally carry you. So nonetheless, it did show up. It's still viable, I guess, but this is literally the only list. This is the guy that won the 3v3. I'm not sure if it won or got second place, but nonetheless, it's first or second. I forgot who won, who got second, but nonetheless, this is the deck list. The only thing that I see change is running the 3 Kuzans. He's actually cutting the Flampy. If you guys wonder why is he cutting the Flampy, he's actually having the 4 Zeus and also the 2 Gangbang Beige. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I am not a fan of this card at all. Just being able just to search 1 card in your deck, I'm just not a fan of it. I do not like running this. A lot of people in the East do like running this particular card, but I'm just not a fan of it. But this is the guys list. Besides that, there's really nothing new from OP11 except for this Zeus. But besides that, this is the championship winning or the second place list for the 3v3 that did just happen yesterday for BY Luffy. If you guys do want to see my personal list for BY Luffy, you guys already know what we're doing. The only thing we changed was we're running 3 Zeus, 3 Flampy here. I really don't want to run too many of these 2Ks here when it comes to life ripping, because after you hit 0 and you start using your leader ability, you can no longer use any of these effects. So everything in your hand just turns into a 2K. If I was to copy the last guy's list, that means I would have, let's just look at the last guy's list. The last guy list, how many 2Ks does he have? He has 2, he has 6, he has 8. He has 12 dead cards late game in his hand because you can't really use them anymore. So I'm not trying to brick on something like that late game. It's kind of hard to say you're bricking on a 2K, but you know, I just like having more utility with the Ice Ages and the searching. And I'm not playing the 3 Brothers Bond. I'd rather just use this for a search because I have the Garp as well. So this is the list that I'm going for in OP11. Nothing really changes. Added the 3 Zeuses and the 1 Flampy, but we're always, I mean, everything else is pretty much almost solved in a nutshell. So this is my personal list. You guys asking what's my OP11 list? That's what it is right there. Let's go into Enel. So Enel, actually, I forgot if this thing got first or second, but it was on BY Luffy's team. I feel like Enel just got crazy overnight just because of a couple of cards, mainly this card right here, but also a brand new card right here in Gum Gum Red Hawk. This is for OP11. Let's go ahead and read it. It is a 1 cost, mind you. Just think about that. It's a 1 cost. So that means you're gonna have to leave a Don up, which is fine. You don't really use too much Don in this deck. Let's go ahead and read the effect. You may rest 3 Don cards if both players' total amount of the life cards is 5 or more. KO up to one of your opponent's characters with an original 5 costs or less, which is actually crazy. And then your counters up to one of your leaders gain 3,000 power. So not only do we have another form of board removal like Zeus here with the effect, but it also gives you an extra 3,000 power as well, kind of like you're the one that should disappear. And besides that, everything else is still the same. Let's just go over every single card again. Let's just go over every single one of these cards. There we go. So that's the Enel deck list. And yeah, let's go ahead and get straight to our next deck list. For our next deck, we actually have some crazy ass zesty shit. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. This is actually crazy. We have pudding, purple yellow pudding. Apparently purple yellow pudding got a boost. When I was making my TLS, I actually completely forgot about this leader, but apparently pudding is cooking. No pun intended, you get what I'm saying? So let's see what new cards is making this deck stronger. We already went over this. This is a brand new card, Vanilla, 6 drop, 7k power. Just because you could ramp so easy way to bring out this card, and it's also a 2k counter, so it's never really truly dead in your hand. So that's really different, really great to see. Another brand new card is this Charlotte Brûlée. It's a 1000 counter, 3 drop. Let's go ahead and read it. On play, you may add the top card of your life to your hand. If your leader has the Big Mom Pirates type, add up to 1 active Dawn card from your Dawn deck. So it allows you to ramp this real fast as possible. The biggest thing about this deck is ramp, and try to bring out a lot of your big characters, such as the Ace, the Big Mom, even the Katakuri. I feel like Katakuri goes crazy in this deck just because of it being a Big Mom's Pirate. Majority of this deck is Big Mom Pirate. So, you know, I feel like this is where Katakuri should be played instead of the UP Luffy. I'm still wondering why that deck is running that card. This is a brand new card from OP11 as well. This looks like a searcher just because it's a 1-drop 0 power. Let's go ahead and read it. It's a 1000 counter on play. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1 cost 2 or greater Big Mom type character and put it into your hand. That's crazy. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 1, 2 or greater big. That means you could just search out fucking Big Mom for this. That's fucking insane. And put it back into your hand. Then put the rest at the bottom of your deck and then activate main, Dawn negative run. Then rest this character. Look at the top of your opponent's deck. That's crazy. So you get to see what his next draw is. So this card utility is insane. I feel like this is going to be a sleeper deck with support like this. This is crazy. You get this, and this. Yeah, this deck might be crazy. I want to see some. I might actually have some testing against this list or this deck, even though I'm probably going to always lose. This is a bad match for BY Luffy. We have the 10 siblings, Big Mom Pirates, just another big beater. Sanji, let's see anything else new. Zeus, and that's it. Yeah, I feel like these 4 cards is really going to push this deck to the next level. But showing up, congratulations to you, actually putting in some work. So let's go ahead and go straight into our next deck, which is Kobe. Kobe, look, I literally had to dig for this deck list. This deck is not finalized. This guy that did win in the East, I forgot what his name was, but this guy in the East was using this deck. He, I think he like lost 2, it was like 3-2, but I don't care what he went with. We just need a template, and this is the template. But yeah, we just need a template, and this is the template. Let's go ahead and read what Red Black Kobe is doing. Your sword type characters can attack characters the turn they are played, so a built-in Coliseum. And then it says once per turn, when one of your Navy type characters with an original power of 7,000 or less is removed from play by your opponent's effect, instead you may place 3 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order. So this has a blanket effect with anything with a 7,000 power. This particular deck is getting a promo later, so we aren't going to have that in this particular list. Once the promo becomes legal, then, and you know, we actually have some results where I could actually put it in the sim, then that's when I'll show you guys what the promo does and how it affects this deck. But let's just go ahead and read all the new cards for this deck. We have Peacock. I'm pretty sure, yeah, we already read Peacock and Smoker, right? Yeah, we already read Peacock. We have Dole. It's a blocker. You may trash 1 card from your hand. If your leader has the Navy type, give up to one of your opponent's characters negative 6,000 power during this turn. That's insane. What the fuck? Negative 6,000. Holy shit. Damn, that's crazy. That's fucking crazy, gang. Let's go into another new card for Kobe. It's Hibari. On play, give up to one of your opponent's characters negative 2,000 power during this turn. When attacking, this character gains 1,000 power during this turn. Then if your leader has a Navy type, up to one of your leaders may attack active characters during this. Holy shit. And these cards are, it's Jove. It's Jover. I feel like if this deck keeps on getting support, a lot of these supporting cards are crazy. Holy shit. That's crazy. Yo, Kobe cooking in the back, low key. Let me know, gang. Let me know. We have another OP11 card. It's a 2K counter. He's running 2 of these. When attacking, all your opponent's characters with a power of 2,000 or less cannot activate blocker for the rest of the turn. The support for this deck is pretty brazy, gang. I can't even hold you. Shit's insane. We have T-Bone. There's nothing really new. Gecko is still doing that. Gecko. Rebecca. If you guys are noticing that people are starting to cut Gecko, man. I feel like other cards are just a little bit better just because it's more accessible. I feel like this particular card is almost getting to the point where it's only really good in Smoker, Lucci, and BY Luffy. Okay, so these look like they're falling out of the meta. But quite honestly, I'm not even sure if they're even going to keep this in running at a 2. It's running real low, but we'll have to see how this deck develops. So this is another card. This is a Searcher. This is the Admiral Navy 2K. Activate main. You may trash this character. If your leader has the Navy type, choose up to one of your characters with the Navy type That character can attack active characters during this turn, then trash 2 cards. Damn. So this deck is like rush, attack standing characters, bringing down power of 6,000. This deck is looking real crazy. I can't even hold you. And we actually have a brand new Kuzan. Kuzan even has a counter on this particular Kuzan. On play, trash the top 3 cards of your deck. That's pretty good. Let's see what his when attacking is. When attacking, up to one of your leaders or characters with the Navy type can attack active characters. Gosh, bro, when it comes to board removal, this might be it, but that's the thing too. We haven't really seen too much board removal. A lot of the board removal is this deck attacking into active characters by dropping down their powers with something like this. Okay, so I'm not really too sure. We have another brand new OP11 card. This is Helmimpo. On play, you may trash 1 card from your hand, draw 1 card, and play up to 1 sword type character will cost 8 or less from the trash other than Helmimpo. Then at the end of this turn, place 1 character played out by this effect to the bottom of its owner's deck. This card kind of reminds me like a reverse Gecko Moria a little bit. I feel like this is like a Gecko Moria replacement. Let me know about this card. What do you guys tell me what you guys feel about this card, gang? I really want to know your guys' feedback. We have Ripper. If you have a Black Navy type character in play other than Ripper, this character gains blocker, and that's about it. It's 1K. He's running 3. Very shice. We have another brand new OP11 card. It's Kobe. On play, up to 1 of your characters can attack 1 of your opponent's active characters this turn. When attacking, you may return 2 cards from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order. Give your leader or up to 1 of your characters plus 1,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So this turns your leader to a blanket 6K power. Very shice, very crazy, man. It's like I said, it's a lot of power creep. This set really just seems like a lot of power raising to almost mimic what BY Luffy's doing. We have a brand new OP11 card right here, Honest Impact. I think I read this already, maybe I didn't, but we'll go ahead and read it right now. Give up to 1 of your opponent's characters negative 4,000 power during this turn, then KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with 6,000 power or less. The trigger says KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with 6,000 power or less. So some easy board removal. That's pretty much what this is. Easy board removal, 6,000 or less. And then we actually have another brand new OP11 card. Look at the top, look at the 3 cards from the top of your deck. Reveal up to 1 Navy type card other than I am the man who will become a Navy officer and add it to your hand, then trash the rest. So this is just a blanket searcher. And yeah, we have 1 more deck I need to add because everything's getting updated while I'm recording. So just give me 1 sec. All right, welcome back. This is the final deck list I was able to find over the weekend so far. Is this green Jinbei? This green Jinbei literally just won like 5-10 minutes ago. Literally just got posted. Let's go ahead and read Jinbei's effect. End of your turn, if you have 6 cards or less in your hand, set up to 1 of your Fishman or Merfolk type character cards, and up to 1 Dawn is active. So being able to restand anything with no cost restrictions, actually crazy. Let's see if there's anything from OP11 that was added that we can just take a glance at and read it for the gang here real quick. So far it's nothing, everything else the same. We already read this one already in one of our GP Luffy decks. This is a promo. I'm not even sure when we're getting this. This is a brand new Jinbei card, one of the boss monsters of the deck. It's a 6-drop, 8,000 power on play. If your leader has the Fishman or Merfolk type, rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. And then we have an activate main once per turn. Up to 1 of your Fishman or Merfolk type characters can attack characters the same turn they are played. So very, look, I've been saying shice this whole entire video, but it just feels like this set is nothing but power creep. We also have another OP11 card. This one actually has a counter, 7-drop, 7,000 power, 1,000 counter. If your leader has the Fishman type and you have 3 or less life in your life area and your opponent has 5 or more rested cards on their field, 5 or more rested cards on their field, it's kind of a lot. This card gains -3 costs while in hand. That's pretty crazy, but when are they ever going to have 5 rested cards? That's kind of a lot, ain't it? I don't know. Let me know below. Clearly, there's some type of combo with this to where he's running 4, but yeah, let me know how this works. And trigger, rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost 4 or less. So resting like a blocker or anything that may be problematic like a Kuza on board. And besides that, these are the deck lists for OP11. I'm gonna be real with y'all. This is the best deck in the format, like I said, and like I said in the tier list. If this is the best deck, that means this is going to probably be the second best deck, like I said in the tier list. Once this deck falls out of the meta or gets addressed, this will go along down there with it, because it's the only reason why it's staying up there, because it counters the #1 deck in the format. So very crazy deck, very crazy shakeup. No blue Dofis, which is crazy. Like I said, I feel like that's good, old, reliable. People are gonna go back to it after 2 or 3 weeks. And yeah, let me know what you guys think below of all these deck lists. Pretty long video because I had to explain a lot of things, but starting next week, so not this week coming up, but the following Monday, when we actually have more deck lists, I will be making another version of this deck, you know, type of video, deck list type of video for the streets, just so we have more information out there for, you know, more options for you guys to use and to see what has been perfected as well. So if this is something you really guys, I already know you guys like it, because if it was me, I would want to see the deck list to see what all the new sauce people are cooking. So yeah, that's all I got. Tell me what you guys think below. If you guys buy any cards, use the affiliate link, help a brother out, help one of the game members out. And yeah, that's all I got. But look, before I go, if you was feeling the vibes, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll go.